a public option. Congressman Cummings joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, let's start with the most recent news, and that is Congressman Grayson's comments about comparing it to the Holocaust in America. Was that too much?
I think it was a little bit too much, but people are dying. People are dying right here in the Baltimore region. As a matter of fact, a recent report just came out and said we lose about 44,000 people in this country every year because either they don't have health insurance or they're underinsured. That's a fact.
The public health care option is one of the big concerns in this whole debate as well. And yesterday, Senator Harkin said there's going to be a bill for the president by Christmas, and it will have some form of public option in it. The House Democrats are still working on it as well. Where does that all stand?
The House will pass a bill with a public option. The Senate does not. One committee has it in their bill. Out of the Senate, the other one doesn't.
You're right.
And what I expect is that there'll be some kind of compromise between the House and the Senate, and we'll have some kind of form of public option. It may not be as robust as I would like, but it will be a public option. I have no doubt about that.
Some of the ideas being talked about in terms of what that public option will take shape is that maybe allowing individual states to have the public option.
That's right. And so the basic thing is trying to have competition for insurance companies. Keep in mind that in Maryland, there are only two companies that have 80% of all the business. And you need the competition to keep the prices down. So the proposal is to have individual states figure out how to create more competition within their states. That still achieves somewhat the goal of the robust public, but certainly not to the extent that I'd like. But one thing we got to keep in mind, we've been working on this for over 60 years, and this president in 9 months have gotten us much further than we've ever been. We're literally on the 5-yard line.
All right, let me ask about paying for all of this. That's still being worked out as to how to do that. And I know that there's some plans or some proposals about taxing some of the higher cost health insurance. Will that not end up back on the plates of the consumers if the health insurance just jack up the costs?
It may vary. Some of that may be passed on, but basically that's going against the insurance companies. And so that's going to be, in other words, they may pass some of that down. But the things that anybody that's going to be taxed is going to be probably in the top 1%. Of top 5% of our population, and you're going to have to be making over $1 million. And if there are people making over $1 million, they should want to help.
All right, let's switch gears.
Sure.
Acorn was in the news a lot in the past few weeks because of some of the videos that came up. Federal funding was voted on to be cut for Acorn. You were among the minority who did not vote for that cut. Why was that?
Well, because there was no cut in the bill. In other words, there was no money in that bill. That was a Republican trick. And since there was no money in the bill to be cut, it was a procedural matter. But let me be clear.
Yeah,
I don't like what Acorn did.
Okay.
But at the same time, that was one incident out of, they went to, these investigative type went to a number of places, Acorn places. They didn't find that to be true in 95% of them. I say to my colleagues, before we really slash Acorn, let's look at Halliburton. Let's look at all of these other companies, Blackwater, these folks who have stole millions out of the mouths of our soldiers, and nothing happens to happen to them and to Acorn. But again, this was a Republican trick. I don't go for the tricks. And by the way, the bill that finally passed, which I voted for, which they tried to tack this onto, is the bill that provides funding for our kids to go to school, to go to college.
All right. So there were other reasons behind that. Just really quickly before we end, I understand you're a movie star as well. You're in the Michael Moore movie.
Yeah, Capitalism started last night, and Michael Moore gave me a few seconds in it, and I was very honored to be in it.
All right. Well, we're going to have to check it out.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Well, coming up in our 7 o'clock hour,